Hey, my friends. How are you? This is Nikki Tobias with Grounded Vision Coaching. I realized yesterday when I did that big, long post about the prosperity challenge, the prosperity game, I never introduced myself. So let me make sure I do that today for all the new watchers and listeners out there. So I will recap what I taught or explained from yesterday, and then I'll tell you about my day two, right? So the day got away from me. I don't usually tape at 10:30 at night, but I was out with my friend Katie, who's often on these shows for her birthday, and we were at Menchie's having some ice cream, and I got some water. So fun to have girls' night and get some ice cream with all the goodies in. It's always fun. And I gave her some jewelry that I had made and some balloons, and it was great. It was a great time. So anyway, yesterday I announced that I was reading this Ask and It Is Given book, and that within it there is something called the Prosperity Challenge. I don't know if I'll find the page quickly right now. There it was, actually, because I highlighted all over it. It's on page 177. And so the way that they describe it, this is about the law of attraction and about manifesting money. And the way that they describe it is that you would write in your check register, for the first day, you write a deposit in your check register for $1,000. And then you write all the checks you would write to spend that $1,000 that first day. And then the second day, you would deposit $2,000 in your check register, and you would write all the checks to show how you would spend that $2,000. And you keep going and going. And the point of it is that you think about the 3 F's. So the first is, who's it from? And so you get to decide who it's from, and you should choose that money come from something that lights you up. The second F is, what's it for? So that you're going to write what you want to use that money for when you raise it. And then the third F is to feel it, right? So as you're writing that check, do you feel relief because you paid off debt? Or do you feel excitement because you bought something you've been eyeing for a really long time? Did you pay off your car? Did you donate that money? Like, what did you do with it? And so if you didn't see that post, go back and watch yesterday's Prosperity Challenge. It's about 40 minutes. You don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. But you could recap. And everybody was writing about their ideas about they would donate money and they would pay off debt and they would get a housekeeper and all these just really neat ideas. And so I asked everybody to keep sharing like what their ideas were for how they would spend this money. But that is, I said it yesterday, but maybe I wasn't clear. Part of it is that you have to pretend that if you got this money, you had to spend it all the same day, right? So you can't just say that you're putting it in savings. Like, you have to write yourself a $1,000 check and you have to spend that $1,000 that day. And then tomorrow you write yourself a $2,000 check and then you have to spend $2,000. So today I wrote myself a $2,000 check and I spent $2,000 off of that check that I wrote myself. So for those of you that are like, this is total BS, this is total hogwash, well, you're welcome to think that and you don't have to play along with us. But here's what I think. I think that we're at know now. So like, if you spend 5 or 10 minutes of your day imagining what it would be like to get a check for $5,000 on day 5 or $10,000 on day 10, and you imagine that, and then you feel all the excitement and the exhilaration and the relief of spending that money that day writing those checks, if you spend the time doing that and it doesn't actually manifest you any money, what did you really have to lose? You didn't really have much to lose. Like, you spent a couple minutes and you got the clarity about what you would spend your money on if you got that much money. But here's the thing. What if? What if we actually do manifest money? Wouldn't you be glad? Won't you be glad that you spent 5 minutes or 7 minutes one day doing this? Hi, Christy. Hi, Katie. Christy said, I haven't had a chance to start this. I had the kids all day. They're playing hide and seek now. Well, listen, get your kids in on it. I told you that before. I would do some family ones. If I had children or I had a partner, I would totally be doing this whole activity as a family or in partnership or with the kids or whatever it is. I would totally do it. Hi, Miss Karen. So excited to see you. So, and there's Angela. Hello, everyone. Hello. So I was just recapping. Yesterday we kicked off the prosperity game, and I wrote myself a check for $1,000. And then you have to pretend that whatever you wrote yourself a check for that day, you have to spend it all that same day. Okay, so yesterday I bought memberships with my $1,000 to HABA and JABA and NGBC and Damsel in Defense. I gave Wilco Printing $75 to make me thank you cards and a sticker for my car and fun things like that. that. And I wrote a check for my health insurance premium, right? So that was awesome. So now today I got to write myself a check for $2,000. And so then what did I do? This is just me. You don't have to agree with any of these payoffs. Katie says, man, that first grand was spent so quickly and easily. Yep. We all have things, right? But I promise you it's going to get harder and harder. I absolutely promise you. Because yesterday was $1,000, today's $2,000, so that's $3,000. Tomorrow we'll do $3,000, that'll be a total of $6,000. The day after that we'll do $4,000, that'll be a total of $10,000. Then we'll do $5,000, that'll be $15,000. So like, it doesn't take long to be amassing this money and having really quickly to figure out what you would spend it on, right? And again, you're welcome to spend it on debt. That's totally fine if that's the thing that lights you up. If it would light you up to pay off your car or pay off a credit card or pay off your mortgage, if it's going to light you up and you're going to feel total exhilaration and you're going to feel complete relief, then like absolutely write it for debt. But I have to be honest with you, I'm a little more selfish than that. And like every once in a while, I want to be able to say I want a massage, or I want to get my nails done, or I want maybe to go on a long weekend somewhere, right? And so write the checks for the things that light you up. And so today I wrote myself a check. Well, I wrote to QVC a check for $150 because my space heater's on the fritz. And instead of having to keep worrying about it and wondering like if it's going to cause me trouble, I would like to get a new one. And I wrote a check for $200 to get my carpets cleaned because I would love to have my carpets cleaned. That would be so nice. And I wrote a check to PetSmart to get the puppies groomed because I hate paying for that. But I also get tired of doing it myself. And I would love for somebody else to do it who's like much better at it than I am. And I wrote a check to my vet because they've been really pushing me to get all the dogs' teeth cleaned and all that stuff. And I would love to do it. I would love to care for the dogs that way. And we absolutely know that when dogs have cleaner teeth, they live longer. But, you know, imagining spending like $1,000 or more to get the dog's teeth cleaned, like I can't fathom it. But if I manifested that money, I would totally do that. On a personal note, I have horrendous feet and I would love to get a pair of Ortho heels that are for the winter. I have all the flip-flop versions, and I actually wore them today because it was nice out and because my feet were hurting. So I wrote a check to Ortho heels that I would get some shoes. I wrote a check to a landscaper because I have all kinds of trees around my yard and there are leaves everywhere, and I would love for someone to come and manage the leaves for me. And then I wrote a check to Cricket because with I had $280 there, and that would pay for 8 months of my cell phone bill with Cricket. Like, how much relief to not have the tediousness of needing to pay my cell phone bill every month for 8 months. And then I had a whopping $20 left over, 20 bucks, and I decided I was going to take myself to the movies. So I wrote in a movie night because I can get some popcorn, I can get some soda, I can watch a fun movie, and I can escape for a while, right? So I would like to hear, there's, it keeps dwindling, 5, 6, 7 people on right now. Did you all play the game today? Did you write yourselves checks for $2,000? And whether you did or whether you didn't, what would be on the top of your list to spend $2,000 on? Because we have to feel it. The law of attraction says what we give our time, energy, and attention to expands. And so we are doing this as a practical way to use the law of attraction to manifest money into our lives, right? And I started to explain this yesterday, but I really want to get back to it. That you don't have to know where the money's going to come from. Like it doesn't have to be logical. It could be that the universe, the explanation I had yesterday was like, maybe they realized they screwed up your taxes 10 years ago and you get a refund. Or the place where you work realizes they screwed up a payroll check. Or your business happens to have some sort of income that they didn't expect and they disperse that extra money out across the staff. Or somebody gives you tickets for something, or you win the lottery if you play, or I don't know, like you find money somewhere. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter that we know where the money's going to come from. The law of attraction works because we put what we want out into the universe and we just expect it to happen. And we feel what it would feel like if it did. So that you take the time to feel the relief of paying off the credit card, or to feel the elation of buying the thing you've been dreaming of buying. Maybe it's a car or a bag or whatever it is. You know, maybe it's this thing you've wanted to do for your house for a really long time, something you wanted to fix, right? I mean, you go on and on and on. Yesterday, Jen Yingling said she would like to send money overseas to some of the kids. And like, that's awesome. And if that's what lights you up, is if that's how you would want to spend your money, it shows us how we value money and where we would want our money to go, right? Christy said, I manifested in my mind last night and it came today. I'm really going to do this. I'm telling you. Somebody else wrote on the post yesterday that she won a gift card today at work. Unexpected. Unexpected. I'm telling you, this so totally happens. It so totally happens. Like about everything. Like if you right now started thinking about the fact that you had to go to the mall tomorrow, and it's 2 days before Christmas, and it is going to be a frickin' nightmare, right? To get into the mall, to find a parking space, to not have to stand in line everywhere, to not have it be crazy. And you started thinking, like envisioning and imagining an incredible parking space and feeling the excitement about how cool it would be to get in that parking space. It will be there for you tomorrow. I've done it. I've done it. If you say that you're, some of your affirmations, right? One of my affirmations is that I'm surrounded by inspired, inspiring, motivated, action-oriented, supportive, exciting friends and colleagues. That has absolutely happened in my life. It's absolutely happened in my life. In part because I'm manifesting it, right? It's attracted to me because that's what I'm putting out into the world. And part of it is because when I keep telling myself that, then I look for data and evidence to prove that what I'm saying is happening, right? And so when we are looking for it, and here's a good example of that. Let's just say that you've been eyeing this car, right? Like I'm kind of a Honda snob. And so let's just say that there was some Honda. I have a Honda Pilot and I love it. So I'm not looking for a car, but if there was some Honda I saw on the street somewhere, an Audi. Audis were my dream car for a while. And so if I thought, man, I'm really going to buy that Audi. I really want to buy that Audi. Or I buy the Audi, I can promise you I will see 20 more of them in the next 2 or 3 days. Not because there's actually any more on any road that I'm on, but because now my brain is looking for that car because I've already noticed it once and loved it. Right? And so now I see them everywhere. Or if I notice like there's 3 white cars in a row, next thing you know I look around, there's white cars everywhere. The universe is so like funny. Like the universe has such a sense of humor. And so I promise you, listen, you have nothing to lose to write yourself a check and feel it. And if you don't gain anything, well, you haven't lost anything. And if you do gain anything, any money, any freedom, any trip, anything, like, isn't it worth your couple minutes a day? And I would argue that your clarity about how you would spend the money is way more important than any part of this. Christy says the whole you give it, you get it is so true. There's a joke in all the chamber meetings that the folks that donate a door prize win a door prize. Like, I don't know how it happens, but it happens like every single solitary time that people will come in with door prizes that they're donating, and inevitably their business card gets pulled and they walk with a door prize. It happens all the time. All the time. And, all kinds of leadership books say that if you want to be truly wealthy in the world, you need to give, you need to donate, and that it wraps back around. So nobody wrote, what would you buy? If you got $10,000 this morning and you had to spend it today, tomorrow, somebody handed you a check for $3,000 and you had to spend it that day, what would you buy? What would you buy? Whoever's still on with us. People are fading fast past their bedtime, I guess. 20:11. What would you buy? I can't wait to hear. People had all sorts of ideas yesterday. And the housekeeper will be on my list before this is all said and done. But I would like to get the carpets cleaned first. That's on my list, my bucket list. What would you all buy? Liz, if you're still on, what would you buy? Katie, Christy, Angela, Karen. If any of you all are still on, what would you buy with $2,000, $1,000, $3,000? So Christy, you manifested some money. You already manifested some money. What are you going to do with it? I'd love to hear. Anybody? Anybody? Crickets chirping? I'll tell you what else. It was a little different. I had been thinking about this idea, a cruise. Oh, I've never been on a cruise. I think it would be so much fun. A new car. Like, how much fun is that to imagine? How much fun is that to imagine? You can like see yourself sitting in your new car, and I don't know if you get leather or cloth or what you do, but you'd like, You can imagine looking out, and you can imagine like coming out of a store and looking for your car, and it's beautiful and you're so proud of it and it's so much fun. Like, you have to think about it like that. Ugh. Okay, Liz says, I'm thinking. Christy Dove, oh, 2000, that ain't gonna buy a car. No, maybe not in day 2, but you know, day 20 you get $20,000, and day 21 you get $21,000, and day 22 you get $22,000, and it goes up and up from there. It goes up and up from there. I was thinking today, there's maybe a mini caveat. Maybe. So the rule is you're supposed to spend it all that day. But I am thinking if it would really light you up to put money in your savings account, that you could write part of your checks to your savings account, right? You're still sort of spending it. You're saying like, that's off limits. I'm going to put it away. But like, if that lights your fire to have money in your savings account, then I think that you should get to write a check to your savings account. I might try to travel with my husband. Where would you go, Liz? You got to think that out, right? Where would you go? Do you want to go to Italy? Do you want to go to Australia? Do you want to go to London? How much fun would that be? Christy says there's a Jeep Cherokee I'm looking at. Do you know how much it is? You got to figure that out. This has to be legit, right? Like, what would you actually spend on that thing to make it happen? So do the research, figure it out. So if you say it's, I don't know, I have no idea, $28,000, it's $30,000, then you know that day that's the 28th day, you're gonna write yourself a check for $28,000, that's what you're gonna spend it on. You nailed it, Italy. Listen, with all your red hair and all your fair complexion, I would guess you'd be headed over there somewhere, for sure. Italy. How much fun would that be? Leave the kids behind, take a romantic trip to Italy. Oh. Katie says, I would pay someone to remodel our house. That would be a huge help. Don't we all have like a dream kitchen or a dream bathroom or a dream master bedroom or a dream walk-in closet? Oh, how much fun could you have designing all of that? Christy says 24,000. I wasn't too far off. So on day 24, mark your calendar. Yesterday was day 1. Today is 2. Count ahead. Day 24. Day 24. It's used but loaded. Day 24. Going to Ireland in February. That's awesome, Liz. I hope you take a million pictures. I hope you take a million pictures. Oh my gosh, you're going to fit right in. I can't wait. I can't wait. How fun is that? And like, what a legacy you leave to your kids and your grandkids to have these like incredible photo albums and to have had this life experience. How many people in their whole lives are not going to go to Italy or London or Ireland or Australia? Like, people in their whole lives are not going to do those things. How cool would it be if you got to do that thing? Yes. Good for you. Your homeland. I know. Listen, you're going to have to like drink some beer and swear. Yeah. Say a few swear words while you're in Ireland for me. You know, I'm not really a drinker. I can't help you with the beer situation, but we can swear really well. I loved Ireland. I got to travel for 2 months. 2 months. How incredible would that be? Man, I want to go to Australia so bad. They have an incredible higher education system, and I want to legit see a kangaroo in real life. But it takes like half your trip just to fly there and back. So you need like a long trip to be able to go and really love it. And I really want to go to Hawaii. So pretty. So pretty. I want to go to Hawaii. Who knows? For those of you that watch, maybe I'll see Dog the Bounty Hunter while I'm over there. And all of his family. I have a friend in Dublin. I can hook you up. Wow, 2 months. That's amazing. That is amazing. It's amazing. I've met, at least virtually, all these people in Canada, and it would be awesome to go like to the west coast of Canada and meet all these folks in real life that I've gotten to know online. So much fun. And like, tell me this now. How does it feel to dream about these things? How does it feel to dream about going to Ireland or going to Italy or buying the Jeep Cherokee or having your house remodeled? Like, how does that feel? How does that feel? Is it relief? Is it excitement? Is it exhilaration? Is it like some kind of nervous energy? Is it anxiety? Is it like, I just can't wait to go? How does it feel? It makes me really excited. See? And like in the real world, in our normal day-to-day lives that get so monotonous, like I would argue that rarely do we feel super excited or exhilarated or completely joyful or at peace or like total relief. Because you know what? We don't slow down. We don't feel. We just do and do and do. And next thing off the list, check, 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 check. Do, 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 do. Show up for everybody else, do everything else. And so this is awesome. We have somebody waiting for day 24 to buy a Jeep. We have a trip to Ireland. We have a dream trip to Italy. We have, I talked about going to Australia and Hawaii. I talked about getting my carpets cleaned. Katie talked about wanting to rehab her house. Man. And like, how fun would our lives be? How fun would our lives be if we actually manifested all this money and we could do what we want with it? Okay, well, every day I would love for you to write on here what you bought for your day 2 for $2,000. Tomorrow we'll write a check to ourselves for $3,000, and then we have to spend $3,000 tomorrow in our checks, in our manifestation. So tomorrow's $3,000, and we will have total spent $6,000. The next trip I want, oh, come visit me. I'll tell you what, you want a party scene? You come on down to Athens. I stay away. I had enough beer cans in my front yard when I worked on college campuses. But we can find you plenty of booze and plenty of live music down here in Athens. You and Angela should come together. And since I live alone now, you're welcome to come anytime. Come anytime. Vicki and I have a great carpet cleaner, and he's not expensive. Good to know. See, look at this networking we're doing. Christy's hooking Liz up with Ireland connections, and she and Vicki are going to hook me up with carpet cleaning connections. Come on down. Come on down. I'll hook you up. Christy hooked me up with Damsel in Defense, and hopefully that I can make a little extra money and more than anything, help people protect themselves, help empower women to save their own lives. And for me, when I was diagnosed with PTSD, and decided to get some pepper spray for myself, I just felt better. I just felt more confident walking around campus. I just felt safer in my skin, more human again, not so terrified, not so afraid, not so out of control. Not so out of control. I don't need booze, just good people. I'm with you. I like that too. Come on down. We'll sit outside. You know, it's warm here most of the year. Unlike you in Philly. But you've had a pretty warm year too, all things considered. Empowered. Totally empowered. Yeah. I thought I was crazy for a while, to be honest. I debated getting a gun. I was really, really, really afraid. And then I investigated a lot of tasers, and I couldn't make a good decision for myself. And I sat with one of my counselors and I said, I feel like I'm crazy, but I'm terrified and I don't know what to do. And she said, Nikki, if one of your college students came to you, having had the situation you had, and said, I would feel a lot safer if I got some pepper spray, but I feel crazy to get pepper spray, would you tell them they were crazy? And I was like, heck no, I wouldn't tell them they were crazy. And she said, then you're not crazy, get some pepper spray. And I think it was the beginning of healing in a lot of ways. Feeling like I could take care of myself and I was back in control of my own life. Okay, folks, it's getting late. If you're still on and you hear this, in some corner, I don't know, because it looks different for me than for you, is a share button. And then also, while you all were on, at some point what popped up was a chance to like subscribe so you can get notified when I'm live. Lots of people said they don't know when I'm on, and so I'm trying to post when I'm going to be on in a few minutes. But if you click the button somewhere in there that says about subscribe or follow or something like that while we've been on, then it'll send you a notification when I'm live, which is awesome. And then for the future, in case you didn't know, there, Christy's doing what I was just about to tell you to do. If you go to like the thumbs up and the hearts and all that stuff, some people don't know, you can push the same one over and over and over again, and then you get a whole bunch of fun and love like that, which is so much fun. And then you get to laugh or be angry or love or thumbs up or, you know, any number of other things. You get to help me know if I'm crazy or if we're on the same page. Super, super, super fun. And I always have to remember there is a time delay because it takes a minute. Sometimes like I log off here and it doesn't log off for you all for a few more seconds. So, yeah, I gotta remember that. There's Katie's got a laugh face. Liz has a thumbs up. Okay, so tomorrow is day 3. And then I also want to tease that I started listening to a book called The Millionaire Next Door in my car. And the first chapter is all the like demographic information about all the millionaires in the United States. It is blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. Nothing that you would assume is true of a millionaire is actually true of a millionaire. Like, none of them, next to none of them, have spent more than $3,000 on a suit. Like, next to none of them have spent more than like $130 on a watch. But like their houses are entirely paid off. Their kids' colleges are entirely paid for in advance. They're running small businesses, or they own cattle or land. They're huge investors. I don't know, you might be thinking like, why is she telling us all this? Here's why I'm telling all of us all this is we deserve to be millionaires too. We deserve to be millionaires too. And if we start manifesting all this money and we keep living unlike the millionaires, then the money's going to go away just as fast as it came, right? So you cannot be a millionaire living this lifestyle where you just blow the money all the time, right? You have to treat the money you get with love and gratitude. You have to manage your money with love and gratitude, and you have to treat it as though it has value and it is valuable to you. And so, like I said, I'm gonna dig into that book a little farther, and I'm gonna share with all of us on one of these Facebook Lives some of the truth, some of the facts about millionaires, because what we see on TV about these like $1 million homes and all these people buying shoes and cars and the whole 9 yards, it isn't legit at all. Those people are crazy in debt or broke. Could you imagine a millionaire never spending more than $300 on a suit? Never spending more than, I don't know, $150 on a watch? We have some things to learn, folks. I don't know about you. I can only speak for myself. But I have some things to learn about living with a millionaire mindset. Because there is no reason. We are all absolutely worth it being millionaires. And they even interviewed people that were decamillionaires, which means they have $10 million in the bank. $10 million. I can't even imagine. But listen, we can do it. We can absolutely do it. So I want us all thinking about what it's like to have a millionaire mindset and to live like millionaires. Because the absolute peace and contentment I would have about never worrying about paying a bill again would be so worth any penny pinching, any frugality I'd need to have right now. Millionaire mindset. We're going to do it. And the point they make is that most millionaires, you wouldn't know they were, right? They dress in plain clothes and plain shoes and no big jewelry and no fancy car. And, gosh, I want to be a millionaire. Do you want to be a millionaire? I want to be a millionaire. It's why they say all these people that win boatloads of money in the lottery end up bankrupt, right? Because they don't have a millionaire mindset. Spend it as fast as they make it. All right, folks. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's getting late. Yes, thank you, Christy, for all the referrals and the connections. That's awesome. It's good to talk to you, Liz. I miss you, too. We should FaceTime or Skype or something. All right. Talk to you all soon. Have a good evening. Tomorrow, $3,000. Bye for now.